Welcome back. In this demonstration, we will install Jenkins on Linux 8, Rocky Linux, Oracle Linux, Red Hat Linux. I will install Jenkins on server 1, configure tester 1 as agent and Windows 2019 server as agent. To enable networking between these machines, I have configured that is host only adapter number 3. This is what I'm going to use. Tester 1 and server 1 has a static IP address, and I'm going to configure the static IP address for Windows also. Let's start with the server setup. I'm starting my server. We will install Jenkins on the server first. We will be setting up OCI instance, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure instance, as an agent. For that purpose, let's prepare the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure account. This is my OCI account. So let me add API key. I will need this private key to authenticate from Jenkins. Public key will be there in the OCI. Private key I will download, and let's add this. Jenkins authentication will be needing this user OCID, tenancy OCID, fingerprint, and all that. I captured them in a notepad file. So my OCI cloud instance is ready. I just had to create private public key pair. I need private key for me with me and public key on the cloud. Also my machine, I hope my machine is ready now. Yes, machine is started. This is my local server where I'm going to install Jenkins. Java is prerequisite. If you look at this command, I installed Java 11 tzdata.java tree curl git wget y. I install all these packages on this machine. I have installed the same on tester 1 also. Cat /etc/hosts will confirm that yes, IP address 10.10.0.100 is my server, 10.10.0.101 is my tester 1. Windows machine is not added here. I can ping my tester 1. Static IP address is configured for both all the machines. So my machine is reachable. Let me show you the tester 1 also, tester 1. And if you see the history, here also you'll find the same commands. I installed Java, git, wget, tree, curl, tar, tz, data, all these packages I installed. What I need to do is I need to set up the repository for Jenkins. So I will pull this file from package.jenkins.ci.org and will dump it into etc yum.repos.d. So this repository is configured. I can verify etc yum.repos.d, and inside that we have jenkins.repo. Let me import GPG key for the RPM, because by default you see GPG key is enabled. So I will import the GPG key. This command does not give any output. Now I can install Jenkins. One more thing here, during the installation, when the installation download is happening, sometimes I have noticed that repository is fine, GPG key is imported, but still it shows that GPG key check failed. Many times it happens. So what we will do is we'll simply disable the GPG key. So Jenkins is installed on this machine. Systemctl enable --now Jenkins. What this command will do? This will enable Jenkins to start automatically on system reboot. And --now will start the Jenkins right now. So this command is equivalent to two commands. First is systemctl start Jenkins, and second is systemctl enable Jenkins. After my Jenkins is started, I will open the firewall. So let me do that parallelly on this machine server. So firewall -cmd -permanent, zone is public. So I want to add port number 8080, which is used by Jenkins, 8081, which I may require for Tomcat, 8443. Some of the ports I'm just opening directly. Multiple ports you can specify with curly braces, TCP. This will open the ports, and now I can reload the firewall. So my Jenkins is also started. Now I can visit from my browser 10.10.0.100:8080. So let me grab the password, cat path. So from here I copy this temporary password, I'll paste it here. So now this is securely set up. So temporary administration password has been written to this file. I just captured that, copy paste that password, and now it will take me to the Jenkins plugin installation page. So I will use this default plugin setup. So this installation of plugins will take some time. After all these plugins are installed, this will take me to a new page, a landing page, where it will ask me to create first user, that will be the admin user. See, two plugins are failing during installation, but nothing to worry. If that happens with you, just retry that. Two plugin failed, so I'm going to retry that now, and it will install the remaining plugins. So it happens. So maybe second attempt, third attempt, you'll get through. So see, it is done. So all the plugins are installed. So we are on the page where we have to create the username. So let me create the admin user, save and continue. So my Jenkins is installed, and this shows me the Jenkins URL where my Jenkins is available. Start using Jenkins. So let's configure the agent now. Our focus was installation and agent configuration. So first thing is I want to configure my tester1 machine as an agent. How do we do that? Let's go to manage Jenkins. Some plugins were not able to start. We just need to restart Jenkins. That's fine. Systemctl restart Jenkins. So refresh it. You'll see that error will go. For nodes and cloud, I will install one plugin, OCI, Oracle Cloud. So go to available plugins, Oracle Cloud. This is what I want, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Compute. This plugin will be needed for my OCI instance to be configured as an agent, and restart my Jenkins when the installation is complete and no jobs are running. I want to do that. In the meanwhile, let's do one thing. Let's create PEM format private public key pair, which will be used by Jenkins to launch the instance in OCI as an agent. So let me make a directory for that purpose, mkdir.oci OpenSSL generate RSA hyphen out, and the public key which I want is in the directory .oci slash oci underscore iam underscore key dot pem, and size I wanted 2048. So let me change the permission, chmod group and others, take back the permission, read write execute from .oci directory and this file name. Now I can generate the public key also with the same OpenSSL. OpenSSL RSA public key out. In key is OCI IAM key.pem. Out key is .oci slash the same name, but with I will add underscore public. I can give any name, that does not matter, and PEM format. So this will generate the public key pair. So I need to change the permission here also for this key, public key also. CIIAM key dot PEM. This is my private key, which will be needed by Jenkins to manage the instance in the OCI. So let me add this key here. I will be needing this key. So I have both the primary keys, private and public key set up. Now this is already restarted. It happens many times. I'm sure it never take that much of time. You see. So if this hangs, don't panic. You relaunch Jenkins in another tab, and you can close the tab safely. Let's configure the tester1 as an agent. Manage Jenkins, nodes and clouds, new node, tester1. This is a permanent agent. Create it. So tester1 virtual machine as an agent to run my jobs. Number of executors, you can use two executors parallelly. Remote to root directory, you can specify any directory. And so on. Label basically help me in running the job, project specific job on this machine, because when I'll create my job, I'll specify where to run this job. So to restrict the job to run on a specific agent, you need to create the label. So I'm creating label for this agent, and the label name is tester1. Use this node as much as possible. No, I want only build jobs with label expression matching this node. Correct. This is the label I am creating. Launch this agent by SSH. This is what I want. Host is 10.10.0.101. Credentials, I want SSH key based private public key pair. So add, we create a credentials here, and here we have username and private key. Username is for the ID is tester1. Let me keep it. This is a tester1 private key. Username is root, and private key I can capture here. So ID underscore RSA. This is my private key. So this is the private key for my local machine, and the same private key is used to connect to my tester1. So I'm using this private key here. So adding the private key directly. So already installed on that. So now I can select this key, the credentials to launch it. I don't want any verification strategy here, and disable reference, no environment variable to location, nothing. I don't want to specify any property here. So this will be launched. So let's check the logs here. Once I click on it, I can check the logs. So this will agent successfully connected and it is online. Perfect. So our agent is successfully launched, and we can go back to check the node. Yes, it is launched. Second was the OCI instance. Let's go to the cloud. New cloud. We need to add this Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. Name is OCI. Credentials I have to create here. So click on Jenkins. Here we have the OCI Cloud Infrastructure credentials. Tenant OCID. I captured those details by tenancy OCID. Region is my Ashburn, which is I also have that region. My region is US Ashburn 1. Then fingerprint I have to add. I capture those fingerprint also. This is a fingerprint, and I can verify that this is same 84 ending with 95. Yeah, 84 ending with 95. Correct. API key I will add. This is the private key. We have to add the private key here. This is API signing private key. So I captured that API signing private key right at the beginning. This is the API in PEM format for authentication. Public key is already added to my console, so I'll show you once again. Passphrase nothing. User ID is user OCID here. So my user OCID is this one. My user OCID ID what I want for this is OCI user. OCI user. Description OCI user to connect to Oracle Cloud. So add this. So user is configured, and I can show you from where I copied. This is my OCID. Here you can see the user OCID. I copied that user OCID. Now we need to create a template. So go to the new template, description, new instance template for a build VM, for a build VM virtual machine. Uses, no, we need to launch this instance whenever there's a requirement and when we specifically want to build on OCI instance. Compartment, I want to use my root compartment. Ability domain, AD1. Image compartment, fine. Image, which image I want? I want Oracle Linux 8. Shape, what all shape I want? I can select the flexible shape, E4 flexible shape here, and 1 CP will be good enough. RAM I can give or 8 GB RAM, even 8 GB will be sufficient. Virtual cloud network compartment, root compartment. This is the VCN already available. Subnet same, we need to select the subnet also. Network security group not applicable. Assign public IP yes. SSH credentials I need to add. This is the most of the time this is the error. We need to add the SSH key for the user OPC, and this key has to be RSA based. We need private key here. So this is the OPC user public key. That's why I'm giving the name as OPC user. Private key for OPC user, because default user on OCI instance is OPC. Enter it directly, and you remember I captured that PEM format key. I can once again go and check. the RSA key I was talking about. So this is the RSA key, private key which I created. So under .oci, OCI IAM private key. So this is the key I want. And remember, if you miss single hyphen, it will not work. And this I verified this. If you select this one hyphen less, you have to select from beginning to end, absolutely clear, no missing any character, no extra character, no extra space. So let me add the key here. So key is added, passphrase is not applicable. So this is the OPC key I have added. Advanced I need to specify, very right, very important. Idle time I want to specify, let's say 10 minutes. If the machine is idle for 10 minutes, terminate the instance. I don't need it. Maximum number of executors 2. Jenkins agent user I can skip. Init script is very important. How Jenkins will use this instance if you don't have Java installed on this machine, if you don't have tar installed, and if you want to build Maven based project, if you don't have Maven installed on this. So init script is the script which will be executed immediately after the instance is launched. Let me show that. I have that init script here. So this script actually is doing what? It is installing Java, git tar, wget curl, and y, and is downloading Apache Maven, configuring Apache Maven, and setting up Apache Maven on this agent. So this is prerequisite for Jenkins. So I'm installing and I'm preparing the machine for Jenkins by running an init script on the instance the moment it is launched. And 120 timeout is fine, stop on idle timeout, everything is fine. I don't need anything else apart from this. And apply and save. Now I can launch an instance on it. So I can launch one instance here, new instance, and once instance is sufficient for us, so this will launch one instance. To go, and I can show you the instance being launched very immediately. It will start launching the instance. I can show you that instance here. So we'll see that, see the instance is provisioning. This instance is provisioning on the cloud based on the configuration I set. Available unleash Maven is what I need. Unleash Maven plugin is needed. This plugin will be installed, and once this plugin is installed, I will be able to create Maven based project. Let's see the launch status in the meanwhile. We can see the logs also here. See the logs for more details. The init script which I configured is running that script, so it is setting up the repository. You can see that it is right now setting up the repository, and it is connected to the instance. Meanwhile, what we should do is let's see the Windows based agent. Let's use this also. Input. Need Java on this machine also. Let me show you. Prerequisite is Java. So I'll show you how to install Java, how to configure Java, and then probably everything will be set. Just changing the properties of this adapter, adapter number 2, and IPv4 properties. I want this 10.10.0.200, 255.255.255.0, and 10.10.0.2. This will allow the networking, and let me verify, because networking is mandatory. I should be able to connect to my instance. Ping 10.10.0.100. That's my server. I'm able to ping that. My server is reachable. Now I'll show you bookmarks. This is from where I downloaded Java. Java I have downloaded from this link, and it is already available in my download folder. I have not installed it though. Let me go to the install download folder, and this is Java JDK. Next, next. So Java is already installed successfully on this Windows machine. Let's check the path. C drive, program files, Java, JDK, and this is the Java home. So I'm going to specify Java home for this machine, which is required. Environment variables, properties, settings, environment variables with advanced environment variables. I can specify new environment variable here. Variable name is Java underscore home, and this is the value of my variable. I need to install one more plugin for Windows agent. So let's go to manage Jenkins, install the plugin for Windows. That's called Windows Cloud. This is the agent to set up Windows machine as Jenkins agent. So I configure this, install without restart. Once this is installed, I'm going to restart my Jenkins. So now I'm going to configure that Windows machine as an agent. Clouds and agent, and let's create a new one for Windows. This is my Windows agent I'm creating. Permanent agent, create. This is Windows Server 2019. Number of executor is 1. I can keep it 2. Remote root directory is C drive, Jenkins. This directory need not exist, it will be created. Labels, it's Windows 2019. Uses, yes. I want this again to be matching labels to the controller agent by connecting it to the controller. Correct. Disable work directory, custom work directory path. This already is all good. Either web socket is selected or the TCP port, and keep this agent online as much as possible. Save. Now this is Windows agent, and I want the configure command here. Let me click on it. JNLP port is disabled and agent cannot connect this way. Let's go to the security and let's check it. Security, Gen TCP port inbound agent, fix port number 9001 is what I will be using. Agent protocols, inbound agent, this is what I want. Apply and save. Go to that cloud again and let's launch it. You can see the commands. So this is the command to launch the agent on the command line for Windows. So this is the command I will be executing on my Windows machine. My Windows is already ready. Paste it. And then the second command, Java jar. This is the command I want to execute here. Once I execute, this will become agent. It says protocol not reachable. Correct. Why it is not reachable? Because I have not opened the port in the firewall. So don't forget that. The firewall CMD 001 TCP. Load the firewall. Now I execute the command again. This should run through this time. Yeah, connected. Good. Let's check this. Manage Jenkins. Nodes. See, Windows is running. Perfect. Let's see the instance create nodes was terminated because this failed. This was terminated, so we are launching it again. If it fails, it will terminate it. Now let's build a job. So we create a new item, Maven based project, and this is a repository I'm going to use. This is a RESTful app I'm creating, Maven project based Java to be built in Jenkins. This is a GitHub project. My project website is theskillpedia.com. Visit this website for online learning. Restrict where this project can run. This can run only where OCI is the label. Git repository is this one. I missed one thing that Maven home I have not configured. So let me configure that in the meanwhile, because if that is not configured, it will not work. So this instance is being launched. So let me go to the tools and configure that Maven home, which is there in my run script. This is my Maven home, OPT Apache Maven. I forgot to configure it. So go to the Maven, add Maven. I don't want to install automatically, already installed. Maven 3.9.4 and Maven home is this one. So apply. Yeah, it is there on the executor. Correct. I'm fine with it. So now we are good on configuring the agent. Credentials. It is a public repository, so we don't need any. And the branch name is main. If you see the branch name is this is main branch. Repository browser, build trigger, nothing else. Build environment. So let me save and build it. Build now. So it will be built on agent. What is the status of the agent, by the way? It is launching. Click on it and check the status. Last time it failed, but now it is installing Java. Everything seems to be fine. So this project will be built, and this is waiting for the node OCI. So it is offline right now. The moment the agent come online, it will be built. You can see now OCI compute instance is successfully launched and it is online. One agent, however, timed out, and that might be terminated, and if not, it will be terminated for sure. And my instance, my this project is being built on the instance of that OCI instance, and I can check that. I can show you that it is building remotely on OCI compute instance in this workspace. But I would like to stop, and in fact what I want to do is I want to make change here in the project. Let me go to the dashboard because I want to deploy the var file. So I want to stop this and I want to build that. I can cancel it now, and I want to configure it, and I want to install this. After the build is successfully done, I want to perform post build action also, and also I want to run this polling where it will check the repository after every 15 minutes, and if there is any change in the repository, it should build automatically, and it should deploy that automatically. So I want to show you the automatic build and deployment as well. So let's go to the post build action. Here we require deploy to container plugin. So I want to go to that, I want to install that plugin, deploy to container plugin. To container, this is the plugin I want, because this will install this project var file to my Tomcat server, which is definitely what I want. So let me restart my Jenkins, and I'm almost done. And don't worry, it will terminate one instance, and one instance will keep running because it is being used, and if it will terminate that instance only when if it is free for more than 15 minutes. So this instance will continue running, and Jenkins is taking care of this launching and terminating the instance. That's very interesting thing. So let's configure the project now. The project which we working on, we want to deploy that. Interestingly, where will I deploy? I have configured Tomcat on my tester one machine, which is also an agent, but I'm treating that machine as an Tomcat application server. This is my application. I'm going to configure it, and I need to add the post build step. So this is my post build action, deploy to container. Where is my container? So I specify which var file, star star slash star dot var. Is going to deploy that var. Context path, RESTful app. This is where I want my application. Add container. Yes, I have container running on my machine, and I need to add the credentials. So add credentials, username and password. For the username is deployer. This deployer is a user created on my Tomcat server, which is basically script based user. ID is a deployer. Description, I don't need anything. So I'll select the deployer. Now this is my Tomcat, and Tomcat URL is http://10.10.0.101:8080. This is my Tomcat server. And add container, nothing. Deploy on failure, I think that's it. Post build action, apply, save. Now I can build it. Build now. So this will launch the build, second build, and I can see the console output. Now this is building on OCI compute instance. So it's cloning the repository, parsing the project object model file. Build is successful. Now it is waiting for Jenkins to finish collecting the data. It will archive it as var file, and it will deploy it. So it is now deploying this var file to the remote cut server. That's all for this session. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.